Sometimes stories are so tragic and sad that I wonder if I should cover them. This is one of these, a tale about a horrible and senseless killing of a child. But I do think that these events, no matter how horrible, should be brought to light. I think it's important to remember past events, no matter how hard they are to talk about. Remembering what happened and the victim of violence and who committed the crime is, to my mind, very important. I love the fact that anyone who watched my past videos, travelling between Markinch and Milton of Balgony and past a gap in the wall, parallel to the road, will know that poor Helen Thompson was dragged through this gap and killed by an unknown assailant. Or remember Peter Sharp, when walking past the site where his body was discovered early one morning in the town of Crieff. To me, it hopefully means Helen and Peter will not be forgotten, and the details of the horror committed on them lost through time. It's the same with battles. I would hate to be travelling past a battlefield and not know who fought there and why, what was the outcome of the battle, and the wider political reasons. So, to me, it's important to remember the past, the good and the bad. On the 17th of March 1864, 12-year-old James Patton was taking a horse and cart from the farm where he worked at the Hoch of Blackgrange to the Glenocle distillery to pick up a barrel of dreg, which was used to feed animals. The youngster led the horse up onto the main old Alloa road and what is now the Tullibody to Mainstay cycle path. Working on the road was surfaceman Thomas Arnott. He was repairing and levelling the side of the road. Busily working on the road, Arnott had piled up mounds of soil at the side of the road. He was labouring away near the old Tullibody Bridge. This historically important bridge can still be seen today. It's part of a cycle path and is used by cyclists, dog walkers, joggers. I'll tell you a bit about this bridge at the end of the video. As Patton approached, the youngster failed to lead the horse onto the middle of the road and instead travelled along the edge. The horse and cart wheels kicked and disrupted the mounds of earth put there by the road worker. As the earth was trodden and spread, Arnott became enraged. He was sure that this disruption was a wanton act of vandalism done deliberately. Thomas Arnott also thought James Patton had been put up to this by others. As the young boy passed with his cart, Arnott struck the lad across the back with his spade. This blow felled the boy. As he lay there stunned and helpless, Arnott lifted up the spade, turned it around in his hands. As he did so, the edge of the spade pointed downwards, and he brought the spade crashing down on the boy. The edge struck the boy again and again and again. Arnott brought the tool down on James Patton over and over, hitting him on the head and body. No words were spoken between the boy and man as the attack commenced. When Arnott's bloodlust was satisfied, he walked home to nearby Tullibody, leaving the fatally injured boy lying in the dirt amongst his blood, mud and gore. Thomas Arnott returned to his house and told his wife and daughter what he had just done. The youngster was soon found lying senseless and taken back to the farm where he worked. Despite the attentions of Doctors Forrest and Moody, he died in the early hours the following morning without regaining consciousness. Initially, it was thought that James had been run over by his own cart.
Explore Castle Menzies after dark.
Is it really haunted?
Is it really haunted?
Book now to find out.
If you dare.
And that is how he received his terrible injuries. But the two doctors quickly agreed that these wounds could not have been as a result of being accidentally run over. The police were informed, and the superintendent of Alloa, along with a couple of officers, made their way to Tullibody, where their inquiries took them to the door of Thomas Arnott. In the house, they found blood-stained clothing belonging to the suspect. When questioned about the killing, Arnott freely admitted what he had done. He expressed the belief that the boy had deliberately destroyed his work, and that he would have attacked anyone like he did who provoked him in such a way as James Patton had. Thomas Arnott was a native of the town of Crieff. He was described by neighbours as being a dour, unsociable man, one who could never look another straight in the face. As he was being arrested, he turned to one of the police officers and said that a man who was born to be hanged would never be drowned. Arnott was locked up in Alloa Prison before being tried for murder at the High Court in Edinburgh on the 13th of June 1864. The defence argued that the prisoner was insane and not fit to stand trial. This plea was accepted by the judge, and Thomas Arnott was ordered to be locked up at Her Majesty's pleasure. On the 19th of March 1864, James Patton was buried in Cambus Kenneth, where his mother and stepfather lived. His father, a fisherman who fished the Forth, was drowned a few years before. This is one of the most horrific and senseless killings I have covered, and my heart goes out to poor James Patton. The idea that a 12-year-old would be given the responsibility of taking charge of a horse and cart today is almost completely incomprehensible. I think the attack took place on the site of the modern garage, or just the other side. So, if you're cycling, running, or walking on the cycle path, please give a quiet thought to poor James Patton, the victim of a murderous assault, a truly senseless killing. The old bridge is very interesting. It dates back to the 16th century and was built by Robert Spittal, who was a court tailor to King James IV and his Queen Margaret Tudor. William Kirkcaldy of Grange partly destroyed the bridge to prevent French troops crossing who were loyal to Mary of Guise in 1560. Mary of Guise was the mother of Mary Queen of Scots, and despite taking arms against Mary's mother, he would later change sides and fight for Queen Mary during the Marian Civil War, only to be executed when captured. So, as you can see, this is a lovely old bridge, very easily missed when travelling along the modern roadway, and it is well worth stopping off. You can park at the garage and have a wee walk over the bridge. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the story, please like and subscribe. You might like to take one of our dark history tours, ghost tours, or paranormal investigations that are held in Perthshire, Glasgow and Stirling. If so, please visit our website, which is www.historyandhorrortours.com. Thank you.